We don't usually show a lot of propagation. This is not really a secret project. Some of the other items we probably wouldn't show, only because it's secrets of the trade. We don't want to show some of our stuff. That this one here, we could divide it off into two if we wanted to, and I don't know if that's allowed or not. I consider it allowed because I bought this plant, and if they left me two, then they left me two. This is how I bought it, and if I wanted to cut it in half, I would think that I'm allowed to do that. So the other thing I want to do is make sure I have no junk left in my tray. So any little pieces of leaves or whatever that fall off, I don't want them sitting in the tray after, because they'll rot for sure. We'll spray this with a fungicide by tomorrow to help any of the rotting leaves that are on here now, and that'll kill the mold that's on there from being in the box for the 2 weeks or 10 days, however long it's been in a box, traveling from wherever it traveled from. We don't really know where it travels from because the broker has their name on the box, and it comes into Miami, so from Miami it goes to us, so we don't know where they're really coming from. Just like anything else, they don't want to know where they're getting their stuff or who they're dealing with, so that we could try to bypass them. So we're not going to tell our secret places. They're not going to tell theirs. Right. So that we don't know where it's really coming from. We just know it's overseas somewhere. Usually it's South America somewhere.
I see.
2 years ago, this was a 30-cent plant to sell out like this. Can you imagine 30 cents a piece for these right now with all the work going in there? I can't.
No. It's so time consuming.
Well, I got to grow this for a long time too.
Oh yeah,
so
that's true.
But that's about what they would charge for the little spiders. Now, after they're rooted. Now it's a little bit more. Only because there's no product out there.
So is this more of a house plant or outside plant?
North, they would use it as a house plant. So most people would have this as a house plant. A bright sunny window or bright light, it would do fine. So most people think spider plants is one plant that people believe need to be root bound in order to produce flowers, in order to produce their little pups. But that's not true. You just need to feed the plant. Nothing likes to be root bound. As much as people say, oh, just, it needs to be root bound, that's why you're not getting your blooming and stuff. But usually the pictures we see on Facebook or Instagram or something, they're usually a sad excuse for a plant. I don't want to sound a mean way, but if you don't feed your plants, they're not going to do well. If you don't feed yourself, you're not going to do well. If you feed yourself very well, you might not like yourself, but you're going to look nice and plump and juicy. You want your plants to be nice and plump and juicy, you need to feed them often. You don't need to feed them a lot. We've gone through this on a few of the other videos, but feeding is super important. Like I said, the system that we just set that up recently, and that just puts food in our whole system now. So anytime we're watering, whether it's with the hose, the sprinklers, the misters, now there's food in our system all the time on everything that's being watered, and that's making a huge difference on a lot of things. I mean, the plants are growing twice as fast, and they're getting plump and juicy just like we want them. And it's going to make it better for our customers getting them on the other end, because the plants will be stronger. We were feeding before, but a lot of it was granular. We still do the granular feeding. We just added that to the mix. And that's just a light dose. It doesn't do very much. It's just a water-soluble fertilizer, similar to a Miracle-Gro, but we use something a little bit better. We actually use a Peters Triple 20, which is just an all-purpose fertilizer, so it covers most of the plants. You can get Peters at most of your most of the stores. A lot of people go to Miracle-Gro first, but there's a lot of stuff missing in the Miracle-Gro, the minor nutrients that you need. Peters cost you more, but you're paying for what you get. So that's again why we use Peters also. And we just use it at a quarter strength of what is recommended on the bag or box or whatever, however you're buying it. And that will usually be safe for all to most of your plants. So you usually shouldn't burn it if you're at a quarter strength. You can mist it, you can water it every time you water, and like I said before the other videos, if your soil is well-drained soil and it allows you to water more, it allows you to feed more, it allows your plants to become bigger and fatter faster. Maybe you don't want them bigger and fatter, but you can always trim them, but they'll be healthy. And being healthy is going to save you a lot of aggravation. It's going to save the bug issues a little bit, because the plants will outgrow some of the bugs. It'll save against fungus. Just a lot of things when you're giving your plants what they need to survive. So just like you, if you take your vitamins, you're not going to catch a cold as easy if you're doing your if you're healthy, basically.
And when this plant is to like a teenage size or adult size, what does this plant run as far as price wise?
Well, see, we're in Florida, so plants are different pricing here. But normally a 10-inch pot of the Bonnie would probably run between $14 and $18. That's for a 10-inch hanging basket. A 4-inch pot is $8 to $10. It really is going to depend on the market, like I said, because everything is harder to get, and it depends on what's out there. If there's nothing out there, then we charge a little bit more, but we have to charge more to make up for the items that we're not able to get. If you don't charge enough for the stuff, you're going to end up out of business. It's not like we're trying to go and take people over the coals to collect more money. It's the fact is, if you can't sell, for instance, the fusions I mentioned earlier, if we're not selling 5 trays a week, then we have to make up the money somewhere else.
Yeah.
In order to stay in business.
The reason I ask is because I don't think people realize what work goes into it. They just see it on the website and they see the price. So I was just wondering for what you normally would charge for this plant so that people can see what work actually goes into it for the price that you charge.
So a 4-inch pot will probably have 3 plants in it. So 3 of these plants will go into it. I don't even know what it's going to run me for cost until I'm done with the time cycle of it. But I still have to plant it again. So into the 4-inch pots. So there's another labor in that one. Normally, if these were a little larger, or we had the space, we weren't in the main season right now, we would probably plant these right into 4-inch pots. But this here would take so much space with them being so small and so much time. That's the reason why we're putting them in the smaller cell trays. We don't even usually use cell trays this small. This is really extremely small for what we would normally do. But with the space and the time factor that these are going to take, so this is going to require a whole nother round of labor. People filling pots, the space they're going to take afterwards, transferring them from here to the new pots, and then growing them on longer. So honestly, even at $8 or $10, it probably wouldn't have been cost effective to do this time. But if I don't have product for the customers. So some things are...
Sometimes you have to eat the loss.
Yeah, and well, I probably won't be at a loss. I just won't be at a gain in any way. I mean, I can grow horse heads that I sell for $15 or $18 a piece, or maybe $20 a piece, and they can be ready in 6 weeks from when I cut them right into the 4-inch pot, and we have our own stock. So there's a lot of, really, why am I working with this? But if I don't work with this, we don't have any, and then you can't access it. And not just us, somebody else. So we have to do some of the cheaper plants, just so that people have the option to get them if they want. Same thing with pothos. Pothos have been really, really hard to get for the last, well, since July. I haven't been able to buy a pothos in a 4-inch pot or a hanging basket other than a couple of Goldens since July, because all our suppliers have been out. So anything that we want, we have to grow ourselves. If those two that I throw away, no good.
And why have they been out? Just because of this whole COVID thing?
Yeah,
or?
Because of the market. There's nothing out there. Some of the bigger stores, the box stores, might get a few in, but you know, that was a $5 plant for so many years. I mean, I could sell them for $3 and still make money on it, but I would bring them in. So it didn't cost me that much. It was more of a get you to the website kind of plant. We'll sell them for $3 this week and get you to the website, you look at other stuff. But now I have to, because I can't get them, I have to take bench space if I want pothos, and there's about 8 or 9 kinds that most people want. I have to take bench space to grow a $5 plant that I can't sell for $5 anymore. I have to sell it for $8 or $10 because I'm losing my space where I could have been growing Monstera Ginnies or Cissus discolors, something that might sell for $20 to $30 for the same amount of space and faster. But now I have to grow a $5 plant in that space, and so it's not as cost effective to do that. But again, if I want to make sure that you're coming to my website, that I have those options and those products, I just won't be able to charge $5 for them no more. Not for a while anyways. And then minimum wage going up and everything, that all is already affecting, our growers are already raising their prices, even though it doesn't come into effect till starting September. They're doing different levels of increasing the pricing. They'll probably do it 2 or 3 times. Plus there's the auto price increase every January anyways. So the pricing of all the plants have been going up for a lot of different reasons.
What do you mean when you say the auto pricing automatically going?
Every year the prices go up every January.
From like the people that hold the
growers.
patent or whatever?
No, the growers. The growers, it costs them more money for the stuff. It's not so much the patent holders. But, you know, if I'm buying a finished product, I'm a small grower, so I don't grow a lot of stuff, and I don't grow a lot of stuff really, truly wholesale. We supply mom and pops. So there's not a true wholesale pricing. If they're a big greenhouse, they wouldn't call me to buy, on most of the plants, they wouldn't call me to buy a plant for wholesale pricing. I'm not there to supply them. They would be buying from the same places that we might buy our stuff from, of the items that we don't grow. But every year, their price increases for those larger growers increases, so they raise their prices.
I see.
And right now, with labor's hard to come by, nobody wants to work. People are getting, not everybody, but there's a lot of, at least down here, there's a lot of people that just sitting back and I don't know what they're doing. I don't know how they're buying plants because sales are still up, but people don't want to work. My employees, not all of them, come in late, leave early, take days off, and we're just not getting the stuff done like we used to get done. And I think it's because some of it's the COVID money, and some of it is unemployment money that for the ones that are working part-time or whatever they're getting however they're getting their money. I don't know how they're doing it, but they're just not working the same hours they used to work, so we're not getting the stuff done that we need to get done, and they want more money, so everything starts to go up because you have to find different ways around it. So Jennifer's in there doing shipping this week, and our shipping people are not here all week, one reason or another, but so it makes it harder to get the stuff done. So we back off.
Yeah, especially if you have like hundreds of orders and you normally have a couple of people like shipping those out. Now it's all on her. She's doing it all on her own.
Yeah, I'm helping
so it's
her
going to
with it.
delay the shipping time and stuff, unfortunately.
Well,
Like,
and then we pull back on the website and we start zeroing some inventory so we can get past it so that we don't hold the orders up too long. But that's just been what it's been like, and I'm hearing that from all our suppliers all around. They can't get people to sort plants. They don't know why they can't get people in either. And there's a lot of work out there, but people are not willing to work. They want to work from home, and even when they do work, so they just don't seem to be getting done what they used to get done.
all right, so anybody that's watching this video that enjoys plants and wants to learn about plants and you want to make some extra money, contact Joe. He needs people that are reliable.
All the nurseries need money right now. I mean, need people.
Well, you don't want to send them to other nurseries. You want to send them to yourself because you need it.
Yeah, but I don't teach the secrets. So a lot of them come in.
No, I know. You only give the secrets to me, but...
Yeah, there you go. So they come in and they find out they have to water or they have to do whatever, and most of them say, "Oh, I don't want to do that. I wanted to make little plants, or I wanted to learn stuff." Well, you don't learn stuff right away.